It's the 9th of November. 9 vlogs in 9 days so far. Dan's home today. At the moment he's in the bathroom, and sometimes he'll spend up to an hour in there, so I figured I'd take my chances, but with his amazing timing, it's extremely likely he'll come walking up the stairs halfway through this. It's just too cold out in the bus. I'd have to fire up the stove. And it got to 20 below last night. Yesterday I found out something interesting about YouTube. I found out that they actually closed down Cody's Lab's channel. Cody's Lab is a channel made by a guy in, he started as a very young man. He's a grown-up now, I guess, but, and he's going to university. He's very interested in science and science experiments. I first cottoned on to his channel because I was learning everything I could about Minecraft, and he did this real-world Minecraft where he went into his grandfather's old mine and compared it to actual Minecrafting, and you know, with the pickaxe and the digging and looking for things, and that was pretty cool. And he does a lot of really cool experiments, and well, there's some really mean people out on YouTube, and when you get to be a certain size, the mean people notice you and start being mean. And the way that the YouTube system is running right now, it empowers these mean people. They can actually get you shut down over spurious accusations. And very little, like 2 accusations is enough to stop you from uploading to your channel. Really. And then you have to go through a whole process of proving your innocence. You're not innocent until proven guilty. You're guilty until proven innocent. And what they're trying to do is clean up YouTube so that the really nasty channels, things like kids beating up on each other, and people being cruel to animals and stuff, does not get on YouTube. But what they're actually getting is a whole lot of pretty nice people getting shut down by a small minority of pretty nasty people, and Cody's Lab was one of them. Well, he's not the only one of the people that I enjoy on YouTube who's getting harassed by this system. But he is the one that I can look at and go, there is absolutely no reason. He doesn't swear. He's family friendly. He doesn't swear. He's educational. He's a really nice person. You know, you've got these popular videos where a guy is out there skateboarding down the street, hitting people on the back of the head and laughing, and that's okay. But you got this guy that's just teaching us about physics and science, and he gets pulled down, and that got to me. You know, I understand when a fellow who reviews trans men prosthetics that look dramatically like sex toys and often are mailed in as sex toys, when he gets called on, you know, it's a gray area. I kind of went, well, you know, it's not okay, and I'm not okay with it, but, you know, I do understand why. But this was too much. My response to it. First, I wrote a letter telling YouTube how I felt about it. Just basically shared my thoughts on it. I didn't keep a copy of it. I'm not going to read it to you, and it's not important. It was me taking action, and that's what each one of us needs to do, because one voice isn't heard, but 10 voices is heard. In fact, I remember putting on YouTube, I keep forgetting how unimportant I am. And that's two-edged. On the one hand, yeah, I was feeling really so low self-esteem. But on the other hand, I was saying, you know, sometimes we forget that one voice isn't enough, that without everybody else, we're nobodies, that we're not strong because we have feelings and because we feel important. We're strong because other people join us and agree that we're important and do something about it. My eye is roving because I'm easily distracted. That's part of the autism. And the pattern of the sun on the wood and various things around me is causing me to want to look at it, including my cute little dog. You want to look at my cute little dog? Where's my cute little dog? Oh, can't see him. The light's all blown out and the camera's not adjusting, but Yeah. He loves sunshine. Dad's gonna come upstairs in a minute. Maybe he'll manage to be aware that I'm making a video and he'll just quietly drift into the corner and not interfere. I think he overheard that, so. There he is. That's Dan. I don't know if you saw him. So, yeah, so after I wrote the letter to YouTube, then I went onto my channel and I demonetized all my videos and removed all my ads. Because the way I see it, I'm not making money off these ads on account of I don't have enough subscribers. And it's these very advertisers who are causing this problem. YouTube is pandering to large corporate interest. Now, the thing with large corporate interest is that they don't want to worry about the fine details. They're just going to make huge blanket policies that catch up everybody. It's like those fishermen that kill dolphins because they're in the way. And I'm not okay with that. And I thought, well, you know, I know YouTube is still going to run some ads on my channel, but if I turn off all ads, it's going to dramatically reduce how much money YouTube can make off of my videos. And so that's all. That, short of going to another platform, that is the only protest I have. And there is another platform, actually. It's called VidMe. https://vid.me. And then mine is /ANNRKISZT. I haven't set it up yet. I haven't got anything on it. I haven't set it up. I haven't done anything with it yet. But I think if people start moving to a different platform, like we need a new platform. YouTube has been taken over by the capitalists. YouTube started out as a very I don't have the language for this. When YouTube started out, it was a loose association of idealistic people who wanted to provide an outlet for creativity, an outlet for expression, self-expression, an unfettered way for people to just get out there without having to appeal to the mass market. It was supposed to be a place where you didn't have to be advertiser friendly, where you didn't have to pander to the lowest common denominator, and the capitalists got in. I expect that there's been a lot of fighting in the boardroom, causing the idealists to go, you know what, screw this, I'm out of here. And then the capitalists are like, another one down, it's one more vote for our side, because YouTube got to be extremely valuable. And that's the problem. When you get big enough to be of value to everybody, you get big enough to be of value to everybody. When you're of value, when you have value, the profiteers are going to come, and they don't come knocking. No. They come slinking in. They send in a few front runners who are mostly idealistic, but agree that profit is important. And from there, they slowly gain a foothold, chipping away at all of the idealistic things that you have in place, and using really good excuses like, well, we wouldn't want children to see that. And they have a way, they have a way with language, they have a way with manipulation. They come in, they change the corporate tone, they change the tone, they make demands. They're like, no, you must, because the law this, and because corporate that, and you have shareholders now. They've actually created laws that require you to become a corporation and have shareholders at certain levels of size, having to do with income tax and profits, and they make it extremely expensive to not have shareholders and extremely attractive to have shareholders. Did you know, for instance, that in Canada, if you are a corporation, you're not allowed to run a deficit after the first year. You must turn a profit. And if you're just actually two people trying to earn a living, it's not going to work. You're actually going to wind up breaking the law and getting in trouble because you're not turning a profit for your shareholders, and you have to hire an accountant who can turn around and play games with the numbers so it makes it look like you have shareholders and profit. You can't just run a business. You can't just go, I have a service to offer, and I don't want to go through somebody who's already got a corporation and a business license. You know, you can just get a business license. No, you think you can until you start doing it, and all of a sudden, the tax people start telling you what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do it, and you start getting fined, and things just go sideways. They start that before long you can't use your phone anymore because it's constantly being harangued by auto dialers who hook you up with mealy-mouthed, polite people who insult you and put you down and continuously try to ruin your self-esteem and control you. It's very stressful, very unpleasant, and it's their way of forcing you to work for a corporation, because the corporations have gotten control of so much of our government, and we don't even see it happening. It's not a democracy anymore because these few people with their boardrooms and their suits, their power suits, are dictating our lives, and they're dictating how we conduct our lives. You think, oh, I just want to go out and cut people's hair. No, you can't do that in your living room because there's going to be too much traffic to your house, you know. And no, you can't do it to other people's houses because you can't guarantee the sanitation so that your scissors aren't contaminated. And so before long, you have overhead. You have to rent a place. Now you have to hire other people. Now you have to pay workers' compensation board, and you have to pay income tax, and you have to pay corporate tax. And they've got you coming and going. They've got you by the short and curlies. And if you want to make money, participate in God Money's cult, you have to follow all the rules. And in fact, it's not even legal to barter. If I come up to you and I say, tell you what, I really want that camper in your backyard, I'll paint your whole house for it. Well, I'm supposed to figure out the monetary value of the camper and the monetary value of my work. And the difference, I'm supposed to pay income tax on the difference. Out of money I don't have, because of course all I got out of it was a camper, but I'm supposed to come up with money from somewhere to pay the income tax on the value of that camper. Or if my paint work was worth more than the camper, then the person who gave me the camper has to pay income tax on the paintwork value. That's corporate, that's profiteers. Let's not say capitalists, profiteers, whatever you want to call it. That's profit-mongering people, hungry, greedy people, thirsty, I guess you could say, coming in and being sneaky and modifying things. And they use psychopathic techniques like bullying and shouting and taking over the room and taking over the conversation and hand-picking people to be sweet to and people to be nasty to based on their temperament, so as to change the tone of the group to suit their needs. So ultimately, we're going to have to go black market. And you can't do a giant video sharing site that way. You can't hide it. You can't hide its activities, and you can't afford to pay for the bandwidth, and you can't pay for the servers, and you can't keep your employees going without getting into the profiting. So I don't know what the solution is. I really don't. If I figure out something, if I have ideas, I will definitely share them. So I slept a lot better last night. A lot better. I didn't have any problem from my stoma because I had successfully irrigated. And I always go 2 days between irrigations, so I've got a nice free day today to do bugger all. Absolutely nothing. I washed the dishes, and I took the wet sponge, and I got rid of some of the dust in the living room. And I have to clean the parrot cage. There is that. I must clean the parrot cage. Must, before I can do anything else. But I think mostly I'm going to spend the day on the couch playing Minecraft. Now that I'm not scared of the googlies anymore. Well, I'm a little scared of them. I mean, they're unnerving. It's jump scares. I hate jump scares, but I have a lot more strength, and I'm discovering too that with these with these googlies, that I'm actually a lot more. My character is more resilient than I realized. I can take more hits than I thought I could. I can deliver more hits than I thought I could. I can last longer. And I can actually go back out there and get the stuff when I lose it. And that comes from having watched a lot of Minecraft videos. I'd love to be able to record them, but unfortunately pretty much have to sign up for Microsoft's Live Gold to do anything like that on your Xbox. You have to pay your $70 a year. And no, $70 a year isn't too much for Live Gold if you have, if you're going to use it. But that's one of the things that stopped me. I've thought about it as like, well, you know, then I could record and I could share the videos, and then I could go on to online games. But at the same time, I don't know a single person personally who even has a Microsoft Xbox, let alone plays Minecraft on it. I don't know anybody with one of those things, or if I do, they haven't told me. So certainly, I'd have to have at least one other friend with an Xbox One who plays Minecraft and can't bring the machine over here and plug it into one of my TVs, I have more than one, and play on the LAN with me for free. So, you know, 'cause it's not like Stampy Cat's going to suddenly become my online friend, or Squishy Quack, or Stacy Plays, or they're not going to suddenly start playing with me, you know. They've got their friends. They're famous people. They've got a million people to choose from. I'm a nobody. I walk up and I'm like, oh, I want to be your best friend. They're like, stalker, creeper. So I don't have the option of that, and I don't have the social skills to understand how to ingratiate myself into a community of Minecraft players on Xbox One. I don't even know where to find them. So that means I can't record my games except by pointing a camera at the TV, which is, as you've seen, not very effective and probably really boring for you guys. Although I'd love to be able to do Microsoft. I'd love to be able to do Minecraft Let's Plays. I think I've learned a lot of things from all the videos I've watched, and I could, you know, be interesting in that sense. And I think that the way I respond to stuff would be amusing for people. I'd love to be able to do it, but I'm not spending $70 a year on it. I don't know. Talk to me again in December. Maybe I'll have changed my mind and done it for Christmas. It depends on how much I play the game now. So this is knitting. I'm not making something. Well, it will be. I mean, it's just going to be another one of these little towels like this one that I use for, well, when I first started making them, I was crying a lot because I was so sick, so I used them, I would soak them with my tears. And then, since then, they took out the cancer, but with it they took out all my hormone-producing organs, and with my hormones no longer being produced properly, I get body temperature regulation issues, and you know, I can kind of feel it coming on. I get a sudden feeling of kind of slightly dizzy and spacey, and almost like sick. And I'm like, oh, hot flash coming, and I go outside. I like, you know, take something out to the garage or something that's been waiting to go out. You take out the trash, whatever. I go out. The other day I actually moved a pile of snow that was in front of the garage doors. So I'll go out and I'll do something until I cool off, and that's beautiful. But in the absence of that option, I start to sweat. Like at night, for instance. Oh my goodness, do I ever get wet. It's terrible. And the solution for me has been to get a whole lot of these microfiber towels. These things, they're super absorbent. They sell them at car washes, for instance. And they sell them in packs, and they're very absorbent. And I'll put one under my tank top against my chest, and that'll absorb a lot of sweat. I'll put one on my pillow. I've got one under my torso. Actually, I have a regular towel there. I put one here because I sleep on my side with my arm on a pillow. And then I'll put another one on my head so that it soaks up, because my whole head sweats and my face sweats, and I'll put it like this and it'll soak that up. And then another one around my neck on a diagonal like so as I sleep. And with these towels packed up against my skin, I can actually sleep. I won't be woken up by the unpleasant feeling of the sweat running, like trickling and moving and being clammy. And last night I actually had to go through 2 sets of towels. Seriously. And, I'll be woken up because I'll start to feel clammy. So then I'll change out the towels, and I'll lay the wet towels out farther away from me on the bed or hanging over the lamp or something to let them dry out, and pack fresh ones against me to soak up further sweats. And if I'm properly packed, I'll sleep through a hot flash. And yeah, I can throw the covers off, and I keep the bedroom cold enough that I really get cold without my covers. And then, it's on with the covers, off with the covers. But even then, it's for some reason I don't seem to get the hot flash if I'm properly packed with absorbent towels. I don't know exactly how it's all working. I wish the scientists would study it, but these days, back to that profit thing, if there isn't profit in it, no one will do it. Because the people who do the actual work need to be able to pay for the electricity and the equipment, and they need to eat, and they need to pay rent. So they need money, and I don't know where people used to get money, but nowadays you get it from profiteers, people who have a lot of money and have the power to say, oh, you can do this or you can do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. And so everything these days is controlled by whether or not it makes a profit. So studying hot flashes is not a profitable thing. I'm surprised about that, though. I think it's becoming a lot more common. I don't know, maybe that's because I'm spending a lot of time reading about transgendered people, because they all have to deal with hot flashes. It's basically all of the old women and all of the transgender people. We're all having hot flashes, nobody else. And maybe that's the problem. We don't have enough money. Old ladies and transgendered people are all marginally employed and don't have a lot of money for medicine to stop hot flashes. So there's not a whole lot of motivation for a pharmaceutical company to figure out what a hot flash is and what to do to regulate it. And for a lot of people, it's as simple as giving them back the hormones that their body lost. HRT, hormone replacement therapy. And I don't know. I don't want to be on prescriptions all my life. I really don't. I don't want to have to worry about going to the drugstore and getting my prescription. So I'd rather tough it out and hope that my body figures out. That's me opening and closing a drawer because I noticed a speck of dirt under my fingernails. That's the autistic in me too. Even so much as a speck, and I have to clean it. I always have something to hand, an X-Acto knife or sharp-pointed scissors or something that I can clean out my fingernails. So I just figure my body should be able to level out eventually if I just tough it out. I mean, I've spoken to women that have matured past menopause, and there does seem to be a time when it quits. So we'll see. It also means that I'm going to have to tolerate things like extra hair. I will develop a manly appearance. But being transgender, that's actually, yes, bonus. Maybe I'll get manly enough that I can get work as a man, and nobody will know that I'm actually a stupid, weak, mindless woman with an annoying voice, because, if I get a mannish appearance, it will also affect my voice. I'll get a manlier voice. I will have a deeper voice, so I will be less annoying to all those men. Having a deeper voice, and if I could actually pass as a man, I could probably get work, because most of the things that I can do, that I have an aptitude to do for, are masculine trades. And I keep losing those jobs because I'm annoying. And annoying doesn't even make sense to me. I don't even understand that. I get it, you're having an emotional moment and it's my fault and my problem and you're going to get rid of me for it, but I don't understand why. I don't understand that. I mean, people annoy me. Just about everybody annoys me. And I self-talk myself through it because it's not their fault that I'm annoyed. But apparently that's not normal. Normal people get rid of the offending article rather than getting rid of the offending attitude. So, that's often me. I'm less annoying these days than I used to be because I don't have as much energy to bounce around. I used to be something like a chipmunk, just all over the place. Um, you know, and it seemed sometimes like people only liked me when I was miserable, and so that they would deliberately make me miserable whenever I was cheerful in order to make me nicer to be around because I'd be quieter. And it's often felt for me like I'm not allowed to be happy. People don't like me when I'm happy. They only like me when I'm unhappy. Which is, yeah, I know. That's depressing. You don't want to hear it. I really need to learn not to dwell on these things like this because I always just kind of thought, well, no, it's just me talking about it, not recognizing that it's causing an emotional response in me and that that's what makes it an issue. So, anyways, the knitting that I'm doing, it's just cotton yarn, and I'm just doing it for the sake of the knitting, not for the sake of the having. When I'm down, I'll have one of these little towels. Mister just sighed a heavy sigh. I don't know if that's because of what he read or because he's listening to me. Self-conscious much? Yes, I am. Aren't you? Aren't we all? A little dog is snoring. I'm feeling like I've done my duty and done my daily vlog, and I'd rather just sit quiet and eat some. Oh yeah, this is honey with beeswax in it, and I like it better when I get whole honeycomb. But this crunched up stuff is okay, and the honey's gone all crystallized, and it's a nice little snack. Oh, it looks like I did exhaust the half hour. That the camera just shut off and shut on again, which means I'm gonna have to put it through Movie Maker before I can upload it. That takes 2 hours longer than if I just uploaded it to YouTube. So like this is a candy substitute because I'm all out of candies because I shouldn't have had any in the first place. But every time I have some candy, I develop a craving for more sugar because it's an addictive substance. And honey's a good interim thing to help me come down off of it. I love this beeswax honey. Plus, we really need to go shopping, and I'm not going out because it's cold. And I'm kind of sitting on the money because it's a slow season. And so I tend to sit on the money so that I will always have enough to cover the automatic debits and things. Well, yeah, so I really am just rambling now, and the half hour's passed, so see you tomorrow.